Hello, we're live
Hello.
again. Hi, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from, or depending on if you're watching this as a replay. As always, you are very much welcome. Just a little introduction. My name again is Dr. Chioma Ostewingi, and I'm very glad to be here as well. And I have Ijoma as well here as my guest, and we will be talking about failure today. Failure is one thing a lot of people fear a lot. Most people are not afraid of the hard work; they are just afraid of failing. But and that fear of failing makes people withhold themselves of taking chance of opportunities that could be of benefit to them. But what if we've been looking at failure the wrong way? What if failure is it's what if failure is not a setback but a stepping stone? Today we will be talking about embracing failure as growth. I will be honest with us. When I first started exploring this digital business, um, everything did not just make sense to me immediately, right? I had a lot of questions on my mind. I had a good grasp and I was able to do my due diligence before starting this business. And I was impressed by the structure and, the opportunities of being able to legitimately do a business and do a business that you can legitimately, that is taxable and it's very legitimate and with a proven structure and that was transparent. But there are so many other things I did not know about the business. And these were moments of, confusion. There were moments of doubt. There were moments of trying to figure things out, trying to figure out how I could, merge this business alongside my routine work, my routine career, my routine lifestyle. And for me, it is not just for me, but I realized something powerful that everything, every step I had to take through this business, it didn't go perfectly. What actually is teaching me is something I needed. I had to learn at every juncture of the step. And this is what I am hoping somebody who is most likely listening to us today to know that sometimes it's hard to figure out everything that it's presented to you. Growth is not straight line. There will be mistakes, there will be delays, there will be learning curves, but those moments are not signs for you to stop. They are all part of the process. And I've seen this in our community because people who might have, started unsure, people, who might have made mistakes early in the past, even while in the business or maybe with previous businesses they had had before, but opened themselves up to learning something new and not deciding to stop when they have stayed consistent, especially in this business. They have opportunities to learn, they get adjusted, and they keep going. And over time, you begin to hear results that amaze you. What was once that felt like a failure ends up becoming more like a progress. So, I would have Ijoma at this point shed some light about this topic of embracing failure as growth. Feel free to introduce yourself again if you wish to, and I would love you to share, where was there any moment where things didn't go as expected for you in this business? And how have you, or what has helped you to keep going despite those challenges? Ijama, go ahead. Yeah.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. From anywhere you're joining us from. My name is Ijoma. I'm HR based in Saskatchewan, Canada. Thank you, Dr. Ijoma. Honestly, when we got this topic, I was just happy, right? Because Talking of failure is one universal, word that anything you are doing in life, whether in your home, at work, in your business, this word failure always it comes up. Let's not just do that stuff. It's not only in business. I was talking with my son just over the weekend, and we were just, chatting. I was just asking him how many people that you can see today that are successful that have never failed in life. I just want to know how many of them call their names, talk of the job, talk of operation, talk of many successful business people that we know today, that we hear their names today. They won't fail. But you know what? Failure didn't mean that they were incapable. It only means that they were stepping into something different from what they were used to.
Right.
And the good thing is that before you can be able to, step up, you will just need something that will elevate you. Most times, it's just that failure. In
Mm-hmm.
this business, when I joined the business, honestly, like the customer said, many things didn't just make sense to me initially. But I found out one thing: as time goes on, it becomes clear by the day. You are
Mm-hmm.
growing, you are consistent. In fact, any day that you don't even, it feels as if something in you is not adding up. Because
Right.
you are already used to, you're already, it's just flowing naturally from within. Failure is not a sign that you are weak.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you hear failure, it makes you feel embarrassed, it makes you doubt yourself, it makes you think, am I cut out for this? But failure isn't always what it portrays. Someone out there that you're looking at that is perfect today was once a failure. So it's just, tell me that whether you are failing today, whether you're failing tomorrow, you need something that will push you up. And most times it's just that failure because when you fail, you try out something that should have worked. Because if I'm talking today and I make a mistake, next time I should be able to correct myself. That was a failure. But that doesn't mean that I cannot speak, right? So failing today doesn't mean that you're incapable. I'm just saying this as an example because initially when I started this business, honestly, I was I was not I wasn't even understanding anything that was happening. But right now, I can speak to you confidently. I can speak to you knowing that this business works. I can speak to you because we have a community that supports, we have mentors, we have coaches. So I can speak to you from what I know. That is what growing into something that you love doing does to you. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
encouraging someone out there today. Don't be scared of failure. Failure doesn't mean that you are not unique. Failure doesn't mean give yourself permission to fail. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you are weak. No, it means that you are growing. You are growing into something that you will love doing by tomorrow if you are consistent in it.
I think a huge part of what I see as sometimes a discouragement for people from starting something new, especially even something like this as digital businesses, when they consider maybe failures they've had in trying other traditional businesses or trying some other business or some other ventures in life. Sometimes people tend to just disqualify themselves because of their past experiences. Um,
Mhm.
but this is what we talk about here, that failure, it's a growth. Sometimes you could probably think you failed in that one, maybe because you probably did not meet the goals that you set out for yourself in that venture, but that's you there is a chance that there are lessons that you've learned. They might not be very obvious, they might not be as tangible as how you want it, but they are inherent in you. And so it is important not to disqualify yourself, even when there are obvious opportunities which could be potentially life changing for yourself, for your family as well. So I'd like it to wrap it up here. And I want to leave anyone listening to us today that you don't fail by trying, you grow by learning. For me, what looked like small setbacks became lessons that have moved me forward, right? So if it resonates with you, I want you to be open to learning. I want you to be open to exploring. I want you to give yourself that chance to see something new and count yourself worthy of seeing a different success from a different perspective of life. I want you to be able to be open to continuing life and be striving for the best or a better version of yourself, even if it's not perfect, because sometimes the breakthrough you're looking for is on the other side of not giving up. At the end of the day, failure is not the opposite of success, it's just a part of it. And I will wrap it up here. This would be the end of our Go Life. We're doing this Go Life as part of what our passion is for this digital business opportunity. And if at any point it resonates with you, I was just watching or I just got a notification about a celebrity that I follow very much, Daniel Etim Efyong. And I saw that he was live and I said, oh, interesting. Look, our celebrities, everybody is actually appearing and using the digital space more. Life is moving to the digital world. It is just a best option to find an opportunity that gives you that voice to be out there. I was at some point looking for something that could give me a reason to be able to make a difference out there. I asked myself, should it be medical stuff? Should it be cooking? What have you? There are so many options to be out there. But at some point, I found this digital opportunity and I realized that I'm not just building for my digital business, I'm even building for this digital business is blessing me in so many ways. And I'm not just saying it for the financial gains. The truth about it is, even if my business is not paying me right now for some weird reason, the truth is, I'm building for the future, even if business doesn't pay. Facebook, all these other social media platforms, at some point will still pay me. So what is there to lose? You have an opportunity that is all rounded. You benefit from all sides. So it is for you, it is your choice to make a decision. And if you make that decision and wish to ask more questions on how to get started, we will be happy to help you through and walk you through it. Okay, take care and have a good rest of your evening. Bye. Yeah.